that a housing crisis that is 30 years old.
Yep.
30 years old.
I survived a brain tumor, but if I'd relied on my government for healthcare, I'd be dead.
Mainstream medicine can be really beneficial for a bone break or an artery that needs surgery.
Exactly.
But when it comes to anything of a chronic nature is definitely where it falls short.
It's a fact of life. Women go through menopause, but do men go through the change too?
And I keep hearing
They certainly do.
Canadians are so nice. Canadians are so nice.
Oh, yeah.
They can be nice because
Comedian.
they have healthcare. Because they have
Oh,
a
yeah.
government
Oh, yeah.
that cares about them.
Big Daddy.
A message from the government of Canada.
Yeah, Big Daddy. Jagmeet Singh is going to save us.
You were right.
Yeah, Big Daddy.
I am mentally ill. I imagined all these things.
And there you go. That we're going to explore the concept of low testosterone and why men have such a difficult time obtaining it from a doctor's office. And testosterone is not the only substance or or naturally produced chemical in the body that you need.
It's a fact of life. Women go through menopause, but do men go through the change too?
Definitely men have hot flashes.
Mayo Clinic endocrinologist Dr. Todd
Yep.
Holt says hot flashes in men aren't common, but they can happen when testosterone levels get very low.
There is a decline in male hormone production in men as they age, but it's a very slow decline over many years.
Health Canada.
It's not a so and actually men are starting to get low testosterone at younger ages now. It's not just testosterone. Remember that. There's a bunch of factors. It's a lot of sitting now. The food is bad. A lot of xenoestrogens in your environment, and yet women and transsexuals are given testosterone testosterone and hormone replacement therapy like estrogen easily.
Approved HRT products for treating menopausal
For menopause.
hot flashes.
Yeah, and all the focus is on women's health, and they say that there's gender bias. There definitely is.
Night sweats. And
Crazy. It's crazy
vaginal
world.
And in some cases to prevent osteoporosis.
Yeah. Where can you get it?
This video is called TRT in Canada and where you can get it. For the longest time, I've only been able to recommend TRT at a clinic in the United States, medical center there. This is for the Canadians that have been asking me, where can I get TRT in Canada? I've been trying to, go through my doctor. It just hasn't been working out. They're just not informed. They just don't know. What foods boost it?
You can't get it. It's virtually impossible to get it. And there's all kinds of myths about it too. Here, like this here.
Testosterone. There are no foods that reliably boost your testosterone to an amount that is repeatable, eating the food over and over. They just having all sorts of issues with your doctor and trying to get on TRT, possibly because you're so close to the normal ranges they won't prescribe you. The name of this company is the Group. They will prescribe it for you, even if, I'm not going to speak for them, but even if you're not below the ranges that Health Canada says is normal, right? So if you're above that, Health Canada is just going to say, sorry, you don't need TRT. These guys are going to look at a lot of different factors and figure out if it can actually help you.
Like if you're fat, obese, a lot of obesity, muscle wasting, especially in your 30s and 40s and beyond. Why do you think that is? It's not just because of testosterone, but that would definitely help. But we don't get proper help. We don't get our body analyzed like a botanist would a plant.
Even if you're above the normal ranges and have all of these, TRT symptoms and the low T symptoms, they could probably help you out. So
what cell nutritional causes could contribute to low testosterone? Low testosterone can be associated with a deficiency of zinc, elevated cadmium levels. Cadmium is a toxin, should not be in your body, and high amounts of estrogens and xenoestrogens, estrogen mimickers. These factors can lead to testicular atrophy, lower sperm count, smaller penises, and an increased risk of prostate and testicular cancer.
This is crazy. And overdrunk.
I'd like to underline
It is not very good. You will not even enjoy more.
The first 2 years, the first year we learn a lot about anatomy and physiology and biochemistry, and then starting in the second year we get to pharmacology. And what happens is that the attitude in medical school is that the physiology and biochemistry, well, that's we have to know that. But the real medicine is pharmacology.
Yep.
And that is the orientation of physicians.
Yep.
And what we are doing in orthomolecular psychiatry and orthomolecular medicine is we're going back to physiology and biochemistry rather than pharmacology.
We're going back to physiology and biochemistry rather than pharmacology.
Like a botanist would a plant. And that's not how doctors and medical people are trained.
We
assume that the body has the ability to heal itself if given half a chance. And the way that happens is by supplying the body with what it needs and trying to remove things that are toxic to it.
Common causes of low testosterone are increased aromatase activity due to aging, changes in liver function, lack of zinc, obesity, excessive alcohol consumption, estrogen imbalance caused by medications, consumption of foods or substances that boost estrogen, breathing in environmental pollutants. Think about where you work. It's completely, this is the kind of thing I analyze here. And you can take my free symptom measure tool on the bottom left. It's free, no obligation to see what I can do. I can even do it for free if you can't afford it. But I'm going to ask you to help spread the word about what I do. Look at all these things I test. Vitamins, minerals, amino acids, everything. Toxins, organ function, All these
Foods boost
concepts.
your testosterone. There are no foods that reliably boost your testosterone to an amount that is repeatable, eating the food over and over, and an amount that is meaningfully significant in the grand scheme. They've done a few studies where they've taken people who produce testosterone at a healthy but low end of the range, like 300 nanograms per deciliter or something. And then they take people who produce like close to 1,000, top end of the range. And it takes like months and months and months for any appreciable muscle tissue differences to be even noticed. And so when you're talking about in that context, if I gave you all of the pro-testosterone foods, assuming you were eating enough calories, you were not under eating either proteins or carbs or fats, but it would take your test from like 350 to like 363. Like that's not a meaningful amount to register on any scale, and you will not see it in your health, you won't see it in your performance, you won't see it in your cognitive biases.
The smartest people that I knew in my training, and some of them were brilliant, taught me that testosterone is dangerous for prostate cancer. It was completely unchallenged. It was just one of the rules. And
So it's a myth. There's many myths out there. Testosterone increase does not cause prostate cancer. Low testosterone increases it.
so when I first started treating my guys, it still thought that they might develop it. So for many years, at least in the Boston area, I was the only doctor that was offering testosterone therapy to otherwise healthy men. They just had low levels of testosterone. And I had one colleague says, "What you're doing is dangerous. You have to."
So, therefore, summary, the focus should not be solely on merely testosterone. You need to analyze your body like a botanist would for a plant's biochemistry and the terrain. Remember the soil. Botanist analyzes the soil. The soil in us, you can consider that to be the digestive system, like your intestines. To do so is low cost or free, and you can find more at NutriRebel.com's free cell nutritional symptom measure tool. At the bottom left here. Hormone replacement therapy is easier to get for women than men. Why? It's a big political system. There's more focus on women's health. Why? There's many reasons. One of them is women are the reproducers of the next generation of tax slaves. They need the women to keep reproducing more babies. Like we're on an assembly line, and they go to the doctor. You go to an assembly line doctor. You go. Everything is an assembly line. Everything in life, it's insanity. Anyway, if you like what I'm doing here, please like and subscribe.